Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. This is Sheila and Fred coming at you from Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and FS Investigates.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. Sheila's got a video for us today that pretty interesting. These ladies are some great investigators, and I have a feeling that the one investigator there has got up with a good informant. I won't say who I think she's talking to. You may figure it out on your own. I don't know why people didn't figure that out in the beginning, really, because it's going to be a good source of information. Now that he's got his stuff over with, then he's free to tell whatever he wants. He's done been tried, convicted, served out. So I have a feeling that's who it is. It may not be, but these they got some good information in today.
Definitely, News Nation is who it is. So we definitely want to give them
Props,
for that.
and be sure and go watch their videos. I mean, they're up on things.
They're doing a fantastic job.
And this one lady says that there's more to come. That there was more involved than just Ben Fields and the scandal that was going on in the judge's chambers. Makes several comments. Hey, why don't you just play the video?
Okay, yeah, let's try that. Here we go, guys. Let me get it switched out here for us.
For their part, the prosecutor said it could take 4 to 6 months to collect and test all the evidence that they may use at trial. There is a video. So I ask again, what am I missing? Lucky for me, Allison Weiner is here again. She is News Nation's investigative producer and has worked this story in Letcher County from the beginning. Okay, Allison, man, you've been finding out a lot, and I have been sort of going crazy trying to figure out what could a motive possibly be to see an act like that play out so starkly. Have you learned more about the motive?
I have, and I think first of all we need to say that the daughters are not involved. Sheriff Stines' daughter had nothing to do with Sheriff Mullins. That has been told to me by multiple sources multiple times. But I think what we want to also say is that this is still, the Sheriff Stines did shoot Judge Mullins, and that is, he did kill him. So whatever we say, now let me just talk about why he might have done that. I've talked to multiple sources, and I found out a lot in the last couple of days. I found out that Sheriff Stines was getting a lot of pressure on him prior to the civil deposition that he was involved in. As you said, he was sued for Deputy Fields' behavior, his using, sex trafficking and also engaging in sex by keeping people out of jail who were already convicted. And that is the thing that we know happened criminally. And the only person held responsible was Deputy Fields. What we have found out now from multiple sources is that not only was Sheriff Stines involved in that activity, in the sexual activities that were happening in that courthouse, but also there have been allegations that Judge Mullins was involved. And Judge Mullins also was involved in sex trafficking, according to several sources. So prior to this deposition, was told to me, and certainly by Sheriff Stines' lawyer, but also by 2 other sources, that Sheriff Stines was under a lot of pressure prior to the deposition. We talked before about how the sheriff couldn't say anything, how quiet he was during the deposition, and he was known for being outspoken, very kind of prickly, had a bad temper, and somehow he made it through that whole deposition without, shouting or losing his temper and being kind of almost zoned out. It was described to me by Ned Pillersdorf, who is representing the plaintiff in that civil rights action. So I think what we've learned now is that this scandal, this sex for favors, sex for keeping women who were drug addicts out of prison, getting them home detention or getting them rehab help, goes higher than Sheriff Stines. And when he sat down for that deposition, there was incredible pressure on him to talk about things that he wasn't supposed to talk about people that he's not supposed to talk about. And that pressure became incredibly intense before he testified, and there was pressure on him after he testified in that deposition under oath. The only person that seemed to be taking any responsibility or being on the hook for this sex scandal, besides Deputy Fields, who already had been sentenced, served his 3 months in jail for one complainant, one woman who said that she was forced into sex in order to be able to stay in her home and not go to jail. We know that there are other victims. I have spoken to other alleged victims, and we will be following up on that with you, Ashley.
Let me ask you this. I got a checklist. Can you tell me, true or not true, that the sheriff is claiming that it was the judge who brought him, the sheriff, in on the sex ring, meaning favors to inmates if they come into chambers and perform sex acts, and that something happened at the lunch that they were at the day of the execution. Is there any truth to that?
There is some truth to it. The sheriff isn't claiming it. I have 2 to 3 sources who have told me that Judge Mullins was the architect of this sex for favor scheme and was heavily involved, and that there is another witness who said actually that he was sent women by Judge Mullins for sex. So the sex trafficking, that is what we've heard. In terms of what happened at that lunch, I've heard a lot of different versions from a lot of different people. So I can't say for certain. I do know that the sheriff was anxious to speak to the judge. He had not spent the night in his home. He's had trouble with his wife and their relationship for years, apparently. He had stepped out, so forth and so on. But that night, he had been kicked out, and he came to that lunch in his civilian clothes. And then later, I also have learned that when he went to call his daughter, the sources claimed that he was calling his daughter to say goodbye because he knew what he was going to do. And
that's unreal.
He couldn't reach her on
his daughter and using both phones. Yeah, using his phone and couldn't reach her and used the judge's phone. To tell her that that's what he's about to do. Okay, keep digging. This is incredible, and I know there's a lot more. I'm still waiting for the definitive proof because. Quickly.
I'm sorry, we just want to tell our viewers that this goes higher. There wasn't just one Deputy Fields, who was involved in this scheme. He wasn't the only one abusing women who were drug addicted, and helpless, and unable to tell anyone about what was happening to them.
Thanks for watching.
Wow.
JoinNN.com. For their part, the prosecutor said it could.
Yeah, go to that channel guy, News Nation for sure. That is one of the most reliable sources that Sheila and I have found thus far.
Yeah.
They have a lot of breaking news, more than anything else. So that's where we're at. There's no need. We don't know enough to elaborate on anything, but the old saying is, where 2 or more is involved, one will talk. There's also an old saying that says that 2 can keep a secret if one of them's dead.
Oh, snap.
Well, the judge is dead, but we've got other people that may be involved, and other people that may have served, or like she said,
higher up. She kept saying higher.
Well, she said that Ben served his 3 months now. That's what he got for. And somebody's talking. I don't know who she's talking to, but she's getting information from somewhere, and she seems to think that it's pretty reliable.
Yeah.
And she says that there's more deputies involved. That was her words.
Yeah. She said it wasn't just him. Just the one deputy.
So this is going to get interesting. I've said from the beginning when I heard, I think it was Carrie, what's her last name? Lawyer, Jeremy Bartley, and Carrie Bartley. I heard her one time, I think, told a reporter or somebody that as of right now, there was no evidence that the daughter was involved.
Okay.
And that told me then that I didn't think they were looking at that. And then, they had the GoFundMe page up at one time.
Yes. Yeah.
To raise money for Stines' family.
Yeah.
And then somebody posted and said, if you're giving money for the daughter because you think she's been mistreated, don't, because that's not what this is about. how much plainer could it be? Now, like this lady here says, anything's possible to come out. It's not done yet. The investigation and all this and that. I mean, it ain't over till the fat man sits on that stand and tells what happened. I still don't think it ever come to that. I think they'll plead it out. I don't think nobody wants the real truth out. It'd be too embarrassing. I hope they do.
It'll come out in the wash.
Well, it needs to come out in court. That way we know it's at least what they said under oath.
Yeah.
Of course, when you're looking at a life sentence or the death sentence, we still haven't heard if the prosecutor's asking for the death sentence in this.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
should be, as of right now, this should be a death penalty case.
Ooh.
They don't get no plainer than what we've seen there.
This case just goes and goes and goes. It keeps spiderwebbing. I don't know.
You're up, babe.
All right, guys. Just thought we'd jump on here and give you a little bit of an update on this. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.
Let them see all of them.
And then,
Thank you, guys.
God bless.
Fred McCoy 40.
Yes.
Go
Please
to that
like,
page.
subscribe.
Go to that page and subscribe.